everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I will be showing you how I made this crochet bucket hat. This one is made entirely in single crochet and works up pretty fast, so this one should be an easy one for you. If you are ready for the tutorial, just keep watching and we'll get right into the video. For today's project I am using Bernat Handicrafters yarn. This is a 4-ply medium weight yarn, and you can use whatever, I guess, 4-ply yarn you want for this project. I am also using my 4mm and my 5mm crochet hook, a scissors, needle to weave in my ends, stitch marker, and optional stitch counter. Alright, so grab all your supplies and let's begin. To begin, I'm going to take my 4mm hook and I'm going to make a loop like so, and I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch in the beginning chain to form a circle. Into this circle I am going to insert 12 single crochets. That's 1, 2, and before I move on, I will grab my stitch marker and I'll mark my first stitch so I know where I began. Okay, so that's 2, 3, and I'll try to work over my tail. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, oops, 11, and 12. Okay, and now I'm going to slip stitch into this beginning stitch right there, just like so, to complete this round. Alright, and now for round 2 we will be increasing from 12 to 18 stitches. So I'm going to chain 1, which will not count as my first stitch. I will move my stitch marker to that chain 1 so I know where to complete my round. So in that very first single crochet right here, I'm going to put 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2, then 1 in the next, then 2 in the next stitch, then 1 in the next, then 2 in the next space, single crochet, sorry. Okay, then 1 single crochet in the next single crochet, then 2 single crochets in the next single crochet, then 1, then 2 in the next stitch, then 1, oh, sorry, I thought I zoomed in. Okay, then after 1, then it's 2. Okay, and that's it for this round. So just keep alternating 1 single crochet, then 2, and then the last one should be 1 single crochet, and then slip stitch into where the stitch marker was, that in that chain space. Okay, and that's the end of round 2. Round 3, chain 1, and again it doesn't count as a single crochet or as a stitch. It's where we put our stitch marker. Round 3 is also an increase round. We'll be increasing to 24. So in that first stitch right there, we're going to put 2 single crochets. So 1, 2. Then 1 in the next one, 1 in the next, then 2 in the third. So this will be our repeat for this round. So it's going to be 2 single crochet in one stitch, then 1 single crochet in one stitch, 1 single crochet in the other, then 2. So it's increase 1 2, increase 1 2, increase 1 2, for a total of 24 stitches for this round. So go ahead and complete this round, and then I will meet you at the end. Coming up to the end of round 4, I'm just going to remove my stitch marker and slip stitch into that chain space to complete this round. Now I will chain 1, and at this point I will switch to my 5mm crochet hook. Also, I will replace my stitch marker back into that chain. So for round 4, we will be increasing again, this time from 24 to 30 stitches. So again, we'll start with 2 single crochets into that first stitch right here. So 1 and 2. Last time we had an increase, then 2 single crochets. For this row, the repeat is going to be increase, then 3 single crochets in a row, then increase. So that's 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth one I will increase with 2 single crochets, and that will be the repeat for this round for a total of 30 stitches. So again, 1, 2, 3, then increase with 2 double crochets into the next, into the next stitch. Alright, so go ahead and complete this round, and I will meet you at the end. Alright, so end of round 4, I have slip stitch and joined. Now I'm going to chain 1 and put my stitch marker back. And for this round, I will continue to increase. So it will be in that first stitch 2 single crochets, then 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, 1 2 3 and 4. Then in the 5th, I am going to put 2 single crochets. So this will be the repeat for this round. So 4 single crochets in a row, 1 2 3 and 4, then increase in the 5th with 2 single crochet in that one stitch. Alright, so keep going and I will meet you at the end of this round. For row 6, it's going to be another increase round. So in that first stitch after the chain, after you chain 1, that very first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. Now 1 in each of the next 5 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and increase in the 6th with 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in a row, 5 single crochets in a row, and then 2 single crochets into the 6th stitch. That will give us a total of 42 stitches for this round. So go ahead and complete round 6, and I will meet you at the end of this round. So coming up to the end of round 6, what you'll notice is that we'll start with a increase and we'll end with the singles. So I started with a increase right here, then we did 5 double crochet increase, 5 double crochet increase, and your last stitches, it will be your increase and then your count. So for this round, it will be increase then 5 stitches, and that will be how the pattern will be for each increase round. Alright, so I am just gonna slip stitch and chain 1. I just wanted to point that out so you guys know you start with an increase and you end with the stitch count with the single crochets, I guess. Alright, so for round 7, chain 1, increase, so 2 single crochets in that first stitch, and then before we were doing increase then 5 singles, this row we're going to do increase then 6 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, then increase in the 7th, and that will be the repeat for this round, giving us a total of 48 stitches. Okay, so increase, then 6 single crochets in a row, increase in the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and double up on in number 7. All right, so go ahead and finish this row. I forgot what row it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Row 7. Go ahead and finish row 7, and I'll meet you at the end. Row 8, another increase round. So I've already chained 1, and in that first stitch, I'm going to put 2 single crochets, and then 1 in each of the next 7 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then in the 8th, increase. Alright, so that will be the repeat for this round. 7 single crochets in a row, increase in the 8th. So go ahead and complete this round, and I will meet you at the beginning of the next round. All right, starting row 9, I have slip stitch and chain 1. In that first stitch right there, I am going to put 2 single crochets. Then I'm going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. So it's increase, then 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then increase in the 9th. And that will be the repeat for row 9. So row 9 is 8 stitches increase in the 9th. So complete row 9, and I'll meet you at the beginning of row 10. Alright, so for row 10, it's going to be another increase round. So I've already chained 1, and always start with an increase. So 2 single crochets in that beginning stitch, then 9 single crochets in a row. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and increase in the 10th with 2 single crochets all in that same stitch. And that will be the repeat for this round. So it will be increase, then 9 single crochets in a row, then increase in the 10th. So go ahead and finish this round, and I also need you to do the next 3 rounds. So round 11, 12, and row 13. So each of those rounds will be an increase round. So for row 11, 12, and 13, it will be, say for this round we had 9, then increase in the 10th. For the next we'll have 10, then increase in the 11th, then 12, increase in the 13th. So it's 10, 11, 12, 13. So go ahead and finish all 4 rounds, and I will meet you at the end. Alright, so end of row 13. So row 13 is increase, then 12 single crochets. So it's a 12 single crochets in a row between each increase. That's row 13, increasing in the 13th stitch. Next we'll have row 14, which is not an increase round. It will be the last round of our top part of our hat. Okay, so for row 14, we are going to be working in each stitch, but only in the back loops. And for this round, you should have about 84 stitches in this round. So we are just working in the back loops only. So let me just zoom in a bit. So 1 single crochet in each stitch, back loop only, all the way around. So just like this. I hope I'm in the frame because I cannot see my screen, but just like so, back loops only, all the way around. So go ahead and complete row 14 working. If you turn the stitches towards you, then it's easy to see the back loops. 1 single crochet in each stitch, all the way around. Go ahead and complete the entire, this is not even a circle, but go straight around, and I'll meet you back at the beginning right there. At the end of round 14, At the end of round 14, this is what we are looking at. So for the next round, we will be working through both loops of our stitch. So I've slip stitched, just chain one, and it will be one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. There will be no increases in the stitches to follow. We are going to be working on the body of the hat. So just one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So this is round 15. So round 16, so from 15, 16, moving forward all the way to round 32, we will not be increasing. We'll just be going around in a circle, one single crochet in each stitch all the way around, creating the body of the hat. So this is where your stitch marker would come in handy if you have one. So I'm at row 15, so I'd set my my stitch marker to 15 and then just put it on my needle, and with the start of each row then I will change the number. So when I get to 16, I'll change it to 16, 7, I'll change it to 17. But for now, I'm still on row 15, so that's how I'll keep track of my stitches. If you don't have a stitch marker, that is fine, because you can grab a piece of paper and each row you're on, you'll just write it down. So right now I'm on row 15. So when I get to row 16, at the beginning of row 16, I'll put 16 down and I'll cross out 15. And then I'll do that for each row. And I know I stop at 32, so I'll just make a note to myself that 32 is where I end. So when I'm done 16, I'll cross it out, put 17 when I'm starting row 17. When I'm done 17, cross it out, write 18, and so on and so forth. So that's just an easy way to help you keep track of your stitches. If you don't want to write it down either, no problem. You know, after you worked in your in the back loops, that was row 14. So you can put a stitch marker in row 15. And then with each round, you can count them as you go along. So you know you marked row 15. So then you just keep a mental count of each row. That's some unnecessary information, but I hope that makes sense to you. Anyways, keep going, and I will meet you at the end of row 32, and then we'll go on to making the brim. Alright guys, so I have completed the body of my hat, and I ended up making a total of 34 rows and not 32, because I realized I could use a couple more rows once I tried it on. So it's totally up to you if you want to stick with 32 or go to 34 or more or less. It depends on your head size or the size that you want. Anyway, so to begin the brim, it will be an increase round. The last time we increased, it was increase, then 12 single crochet, then an increase. So for the first increase round on our brim, it's going to be increase, then 13, then increase. And that will be the repeat for that round. The only thing is, to begin the brim, we're gonna, instead of going through both loops of the previous round, we're only gonna go through the front loop so we get that curve up in the brim. So I'm only gonna go through this front loop right here. So in that front loop, I'm putting 2 single crochet. So always start with the increase, and then in the next one I'll put 1 single crochet just in the front loop, and I'll be putting 13 single crochet between each increase. So that's 1, 2. I hope you can see. 3. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay. So with the stitches facing me, I only want to pick up the front one. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and in the 14th it will be an increase. So two single crochets in that one stitch and repeat. So 13 single crochets, then 2 single crochets into the 14th stitch. So go ahead and complete this first round of our brim, and then I'll meet you at the end of this row. At the end of the first row of our brim, the next row is also going to be an increase round. So you're going to start with 2 single crochet into the first stitch, and this time we are going through both sides of the stitch. We're not going through one loop, we're going through both loops. So that's an increase, and then last time we were doing 13 stitches and then an increase in the 14th. This row we're going to do increase, then 14 stitches, increase in the 15th. Okay, so first row was increase, then 13 stitches. Next one, increase, then 14 stitches. So it's first one, increase, 13 stitches between an increase. Next one, 14 stitches between an increase. Then you're going to do 15 stitches between the increase, then 16 stitches between the increase, then 17 stitches between the increase, 18 stitches between the increase, 19 stitches between the increase, 20 stitches between the increase, and that will be the last round of your brim. After that, the final round will be 1 row of single crochet in every stitch. So I think from here you should be able to complete your brim unassisted. So go ahead and do that, and I will come back to you when my hat is finished. I have faith in you guys. Alright, so I'll see you at the end of this project. Alright guys, so with my last row completed, this is what the brim looks like. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye!